When I saw that scene, I was like, Henry, I knew it was you because you was trying to protect your daddy. Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Cassel.
Hi guys, welcome to CK Watch Corner. My name is Carlin. On here we do movie reviews and TV show reviews.
We will be reviewing The Undoing. This is a recent show that came out on HBO Max. They're two of the main characters that are actors we've always seen, Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. So they play Grace Fraser and Jonathan Fraser.
Yes, so just to give a quick recap, this show is about basically a family that look perfect from the outside, but when you go deeper, it's not so perfect. We find out that Jonathan had an affair with someone, and that same person he had an affair with, she gets murdered. So the whole series is kind of trying to find out who killed Elena Alves.
Yeah, and that's pretty much Jonathan's side chick. So so we'll just dive right in. So we see the show starts off with Grace and her husband. They both have busy, well-established lives. She's a well-established therapist, marriage therapist, and he's a pediatrician. And they have just like one child. What's the kid?
Henry.
They have Henry. And everything seems normal. Everything seems great. They have a good relationship, a healthy marriage. They're communicating. Doesn't appear like there's no problems. And then we see that one of the main characters, Elena Alves, is introduced into the story. So
yeah, so she ends up on like the school board that the wife is part of, and her son basically got a scholarship, and that's how she's on that board. So it's interesting because it looks like she's drawn to Grace, and Grace doesn't know why. And then later on, there's like a school party, a school function that happens, and they see her there again, but she looks sad, and we don't know what's going on, why she's sad. And later on, is it in that episode? But anyway, later on in the series, we find out that she gets murdered that same night.
yeah, so we find out that Grace gets a call while at work, and she's made aware that some parent at their kids' school passed away, was murdered, died, and only to find out it's Elena Alves. And then the story unfolds because at the end of the day, she gets I would say questioned by the detectives that's looking into the case, and the detective for some reason feels like she's suspicious. They keep questioning her about where is her husband's whereabouts, and she's wondering like, what does her husband have to do with any of this?
And by the way, her husband is nowhere to be found. She's calling him. It looked like he packed up stuff, everything, and left. So that makes it even more suspicious.
Yeah, so she's trying to get a hold of him. I think what was really interesting was she didn't know exactly where her husband was. She knew that he traveled to Ohio and he was at some hotel. And for some reason, she couldn't get him at any of the hotels that he was supposed to be at. And then she started to, kind of panic. She's asking her kid, where is dad? Only to find out he left his phone home. And then the story continues to even unravel even more.
And we find out he wasn't working. So all this time he's been dressing up to go to work. He's not going nowhere. So she didn't know that had happened. So like she's finding out so many lies that he was basically telling her. Like she found out he was in an affair. She find out he's not really working. So like what else is he hiding?
Yeah, so what was crazy for me when she's as the story started to unravel, that this guy, she found out by going to his workplace. Where is my husband? He said he was supposed to be at some medical conference, and this guy who is his attendant is he's anyways a supervisor or something, and he's telling him that he's telling her that I can't say much, and she's wondering what what the heck are you talking about, only to find out this man has not been working for the past 3 months, that he was fired for bad behavior. He was fired for bad behavior at work.
Basically, like they thought he was having an affair with the client, which he really was. Eventually, Jonathan does show up while Grace and her son is at the lake house, and he kind of like, you know, blocks her mouth, trying to explain to her like why he ran away. And she's frightened, like she doesn't trust him, and she doesn't like what he put the family through. So she calls the police comes, and she tells them what happens. He does go to jail, and throughout this time it's like eventually they go on trial to kind of see did he really commit this crime.
Yeah. So at first he had a public defender, which was worthless, useless, didn't get him anywhere. So she went to her dad for help in, you know, finding an attorney that could represent Jonathan. And her dad, for sure, did not believe that he was innocent.
We can see that Grace is oblivious to what's really going on with Jonathan, because, for instance, she thought her parents had like a perfect marriage, but her dad came clean to her and said their marriage actually wasn't good at all. Like, he was cheating on her mother all the time, and he was covering it up with gifts. So not only did she do that with her parents' marriage, she also did that with her marriage, because she is blind to what Jonathan is doing.
I would also say, I want to jump in what you're saying, that I think at times when we love somebody, we want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So it's like usually when people find out that their partner is cheating, they don't always be mad at the partner. They usually be mad at the person who's cheating with their partner.
Yes.
And the reason for that, I think it's because you have a relationship with your partner, so it's easier to hate somebody that you have no connection, no feelings towards, and want to put the blame on them and say, you know, you are the reason, not my partner. Maybe my partner.
Even still, I think like even if when you have a relationship, because it could be your sister telling you, and you would still sometimes pick your partner over your family member. So even if it's blood related, it's just like you have a connection with that person.
That's true.
Because it's romantic.
Okay, so as the story unravels, we see where they introduce the attorney, Haley. She's a very prominent attorney in her field. Something that she said that really stuck with me is that she doesn't always win her cases like, you know, with just the truth, but her duty is to create muck. And I really like how she said that. It's like, I'm not hitting you with the truth, I'm hitting you with what did they not do. And what she was trying to do the whole time is spin how bad of an investigation that the detectives did. So kind of to shift the narrative against the detective, that it was trying to pin her client and not look at all of the evidence. So I really like how she was trying to defend him. So as the story continues, we see that Grace comes across the hammer that was used to kill Elena, and she found it in her son Henry's violin case. When I saw that scene, I was like, Henry, I knew it was you, because you was trying to protect your daddy. I knew it was you.
I didn't think it was Henry, because it was, to me, too brutal, and that would make the son a sociopath.
Yeah, but you never know.
But he never acted like a sociopath.
But you never know these days. He was so quiet and reserved, and he really wanted to go on that trip with his father. So I was like, was Henry really that desperate to go on and bond with his father? And he felt like, you know, he was losing his dad, because he had seen Elena at school. So he felt like, he was taking my mom away from me, destroying my family. I'm gonna get my dad away from me, and destroying the relationship between my mom and my dad. So I was gonna get rid of you, and he probably didn't mean to do it. So I created a whole story of Henry could possibly be the culprit. But he explained that he had found it at the beach house and he hid it. So I wanted to know.
Well, I guess he could look culpable, because why did you wash it in the dishwasher? But I guess
hiding evidence.
He's hiding, but it's to protect his dad.
Yeah.
And what I think was really despicable was the fact that the father wanted to blame the son. But I commend Grace, because she knew it wasn't her son right away. She stood up for her son.
Yeah, but what a piece of... We see also that the lawyer tries to place the murder on Elena Alves' husband, Fernando, and he gets so, you know, aggravated, so upset, because he's like, are you kidding me? I know this guy had an affair with my wife, this baby that I'm holding. And I think we did forget to mention that Elena had a baby for Jonathan, which was crazy,
Really sad.
which was really sad, and also made me felt like Grace was taking a lot, because here you are ruining my life, destroying our reputation, destroying our son's life, and you also add injury to insult by creating a whole baby with this other woman.
Closer to the ending of the episodes, Grace talks to Jonathan's mom, and she finds out the sister that died when they were younger had partly to do with Jonathan, because he wasn't taking care of her. Like, the sister went out the house and she got hit by a vehicle, and Jonathan, it's like he never showed like grief when that happened. Like, he never cried, he never really talked about it. It's like nothing ever happened, his mom said. So that was like a clear sign. And as a psychologist, Grace know like he's showing symptoms of being a sociopath.
I didn't even think about that, but now that you point it out, it makes sense that as a psychologist, she knows like something, he's a sociopath. And then I think what also added to it was when he got on that stand and they asked him, what did you do after you left the party? And it's like the story just comes up with lies. He said he took his clothes to the dry cleaner, and I think it was just like
a normal person wouldn't do that. Like, okay, and not only did he like just so how you know to go to the dry cleaner? Like, usually you'd be like frazzled. You just murdered someone,
and he went in bed and slept with his
wife. I thought that was so.
Like, how evil are you? He's dark. He didn't fit. He just like shifted it to another part of his brain. Like, after you did all of this, you just shift this to another part of your brain. And at that, in like,
but you could see like he was kind of, he wasn't in his right mind, but she thought it was a client that passed away or something that happened bad at the hospital.
Tell. Yeah, that's true.
So she knew something was wrong, but it was a whole murder. Basically, we just gave away that Jonathan is the one who committed the crime, and we also want to say that he would have maybe won the case, but who helped him to lose was actually his wife, Grace. She decided like she had to do the right thing, so she messed up the case for him, and
by telling her best friend like the discussion that she and his mother had, and the best friend pretty much leaked that information to the other attorney by bringing up the questions, hey, did you speak with his mom, and so on and so on, and she just pretty much ruined the case, and he lost the case. And the ending, we see that he has a final segment to the trial, and he flees and
with his son Henry.
With his son, basically kidnaps Henry, tries to go to Canada. Is that what he was
it
trying
looks so
to do?
Yes.
Then there's a big police chase and everything until he tries to commit suicide by eventually he stops he can't outrun the police anymore. He tries to jump over a bridge, and I mean, like, what did you think of that? Were you like, yeah, just jump, whatever, get it over with? Or
no, I'm glad he didn't commit suicide. The ending kind of ended abruptly to me, because it's like, Grace gets back Henry and then they go in a helicopter and it ends. So I just didn't feel fulfilled.
You wanted more, right?
Like, yeah. I feel like
I
wanted a better closure.
Giving us more, because like we basically suffered with you guys the whole time. I was stressed out, like, who the hell did this?
I felt like it was so we went through all this suspense just for Jonathan to be the killer. I just felt like it could have been a wow factor, and I didn't really get that wow factor.
I felt it though.
I feel like it's I was a two-sided thing, because some people's like that maybe actually made it a wow factor because it was Jonathan, but for me it was like, could have been the dad. I kind of at one point I thought it could have been.
You wanted it to be someone else. I thought it was either, for some reason I thought it was Grace. I don't know why, because the fact that she had passed like right near the Elena's
that would have made it more suspenseful for me.
Yeah, but I think I recognized that it was Jonathan when he put on that jacket and go to work every day. I just couldn't believe that if it was me and my guy saying, hi babe, bye, I love you, going to work for 3 months and you sick.
For me, it was the when she spoke to the mom saying like he never showed any emotions, and also when he talked in the jury and he said he went to the dry cleaner, and all of those things adding up just showed like
it was just messy, like his lies wasn't connecting.
He was the murderer.
Yeah, his lies wasn't connecting. But what would you rate this show?
It was a great show. I mean, it's just the ending was a little underwhelming for me, so I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
Okay. I really enjoyed it. I would give it 9 out of 10. I know Colin wasn't wowed by the ending, but I enjoyed it. I was impressed.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification button for future videos from us. Thank you.
Bye.